So good morning, everyone. Yeah, been a while, I know. And I know you've seen in my last video how I had to get rid of my Duramax, and I said I was truck shopping. Never showed you what I got. And so here it is. 2016 2500 HD. This is the double cab. They don't make extended cabs anymore. Not a whole lot of room in the back seat, but enough room in there I can put all my crap in there, as I call it. Stuff I just gotta have. But yeah, 2016 2500 HD. This is the gas motor. I sure do miss my diesel, but could not find one. Price range I like. Yeah, bought some seat covers, paid good money for these, and ripped right away. Good old Gorilla Tape. Trying to protect the seats in this one. Four-wheel drive, double cab, the 6-liter engine, Allison transmission, automatic. Just like this truck, my 4-wheel drive is on the floor. It's okay, a lot less electronics that go to that. The only thing you can't shift into 4-wheel drive on the fly. That's all right. We have put a gooseneck ball in it. It is the B&W. Dad and I put that in ourselves. We took the bed off. Get it off out of there, and undercoated everything in here. Also, try and protect the frame. Undercoated it real heavy. I've painted these wheels black. They were a rusty silver gray. Nice truck. Really like these steps in the bumpers. My half-ton has that also. But really nice truck. 2016, found it with 70,000 miles on it when we got it. So just barely broke in my opinion. I would like to have the bumpers that have the lights in them, but I may put a little LED bar light in here. I don't know, haven't decided yet. And anyone else that has the later model Chevy trucks, why in the world did they go to a full ring up here instead of the ones they had before that were a hook? Slipping a strap or something in there is not much fun, and I've had to use those already, so I don't know. But the rooster's looking for me. Really like this truck. Like the LED lights that are in the mirrors. Shining backwards whenever you have your cab light on, and man, they really light up the whole side of the truck. They're nice for backing up in the dark also. So far I really like this truck. I wasn't sure how the gas motor would do on pulling, but I'm impressed with it. The only thing well, the most thing I'm impressed with is the ride. I think it rides better than my half-ton, but and when the trailer's behind you, you don't even know it, hardly. Even loaded, unloaded, whatever. This truck has a super nice ride. And it's all stock. Motor stock, exhaust is stock. That's all going to change soon. I'm going to, you know me, I'm going to change that stuff around. But get some more horsepower out of it. Let it breathe a little bit better. Let it exhale a little bit better. Shoot the muffler underneath. This thing's about the size of a 50-gallon drum. And you can see it under the frame. I don't like that. So all those things are going to go, but I'm another one too. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So it's running good like it is. It just doesn't have the takeoff torque like when you're loaded. Taking off from like a traffic light, stop sign, something like that. It gets there, but it just doesn't have the takeoff power like the diesel did, and definitely miss that diesel sound that the Duramax had. Good morning, everybody. Happy February. Sun's out my back here. It's about 8:30 in the morning. We are headed to Spring Valley. So this one this morning, and then we'll be going down to Christina Sharkey Ellison, Sharkey Equestrian. I think that's what she's still calling that. Christy, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Haven't done much recording lately just because it's like last week, it's just routine stuff. You get up, you feed the animals, and you take care of them. You do whatever else there is to do. Like the other day, I changed, there's my phone, changed the oil in the Mahindra, and just, you just do things around the farm and wait for the phone call to come in and orders of hay. So, oh, also yesterday morning, I went down to a World Equestrian Center. 2 new customers from Pennsylvania that are there for the show, and one may become a regular. She is thinking about arranging shipping to be able to haul hay from our farm through the season or whatever. Yeah, it's fine with me. She says they're paying $12 a bale, which is twice of the price of mine. I don't know how they do that out there or what, but I don't know. We'll see. Gonna crunch some numbers for her. I don't want to haul the hay out there, but she can arrange to have it done. There's shippers out there that'll do it, but some of the shipping costs are $6 a mile. I told her I'd do it for $6 a mile. That'd be nice. I'd put some money in my pocket, and this pickup in the Gooseneck would definitely make the trip. It's 528 miles, so it'd be a 2-day thing, but I could do it. I could definitely do it. I used to drive truck over the road, so that's no stranger to that. So update, here I am on the road again. Going down to Sharkey's Equestrian, Christina Ellison. I have to ask her what she wants me to call her. Anywho, didn't get my loader going. Finished loading about the last 30 bales or so by hand, which was throwing them down, putting 3 at a time on a 2-wheel cart, taking them out to the barn lot, throwing them on the trailer. Yeah, not fun. So I've only got 100 on here. I let her know that, and I let her know why, because the loader went down and it's right in the way of the getting in the barn. What we have discovered, Dad did some reading in the book, which I don't trust the book. On a side note or side story, the book says to change the engine oil every 100 hours. No. So do you trust anything else in that Mahindra book? Yeah, I don't know. But it does say that one reason why it may not start, it crank and not start, is because of a wire going to the glow plugs. Apparently that's not just for starting it or warming up the glow plugs. It is for keeping it running also. So the glow plug switch is in the ignition switch. You turn the key backwards and hold it for 30 seconds or so when it's cold enough outside that you need to warm up the glow plugs. Anybody who's ever had an older diesel truck or tractor, they have glow plugs, and you have to warm those up when it's cold if you don't have a inline heater. On the Duramax, I had a block heater for it, and you plug it in at night and it keeps it warm. But anyway, it helps it start easier on cold mornings. But that Mahindra does not. So on cold mornings like it was this morning, you would have to use the glow plugs. So just an update. This is where the Mahindra was sitting a little bit ago. I had hay over here, stacked over here, and it's coming in to get it with the loader, and she died. So this evening we went and got a new battery put in it. That didn't fix it either. So I was able to crank it enough, get the loader up in the air, get this off, get the grapples off, roll it down the hill. Dad pulled it with his pickup up into the tool shed. That's where she's at right now. So I'm gonna head home here in a little bit, get these gloves off. Sorry I didn't film any of that. I put the battery in it myself, and yeah, this might be a bad camera angle. So getting my gloves off there. Anywho, didn't film any of that. There's only so many things you can do while holding the camera, and I didn't have the magnet with me. So sorry about that, but it is up in the tool shed. Dad's gonna shed. Dad's gonna work on that in the morning as we get on these scary steps. I got some bales here that I'm gonna feed to the cattle, or what I call bottom bales that come off the bottom down here. This is the bottom of the old barn over on Long Road, by the way. We put hay in here. I think that one time they used to run hogs in here, and at another time they milked cattle in here. I'll show the old trough. I don't know how old it is because it's built out of concrete, but anyway, I'll show you that here in just a minute. But that hay there is going to my cattle because their bottom bale is moldy, whatever. Also, the hay that's along this wall right here, I try when I stack it, keep it off the wall, but I guess I didn't pay much attention. But I think this next season I'm going to take some of our old tarps. If you can see it or not, it's a little dark in here. It's a little wet, a little moldy. That's not for horses. So that bale is stacked this way. These bales here are going this way, so the ends of those are going to be bad. Wasn't paying much attention when I stacked this hay in here. I put this hay in here myself. I did this. In the past, we've had a couple boys working for me, and we would use the hay elevator, come in these little doors here. There's 3 of them on this side of the barn. Park a wagon out there or unload it with the grapple and stack hay out here. But anyway, into the elevator would be sticking out that door, and we'd run it, you know, through these 3 aisleways and put hay clear to the back, and as they stacked back air, we would bring it out forward. But I stacked this hay in here myself by hand last year because I was running out of room everywhere. This is all second cutting in here. Keeps pretty good down here in the bottom of this barn, except the concrete floor. And those are the bales that are on the front of the wagon that you just have to feed the cattle. It's concrete. Moisture comes up through the concrete, all that. You can't lay bales right on concrete, but that's just what I do, unless I put pallets in here, and then you're losing 4 to 6 inches. And you're still going to get bales on the bottom that go bad. You still do. There's ways of putting a moisture barrier in there. Not sure if you can tell. This old gate panel is laying in here, but this is a feed trough, and it's made kind of in the shape of a U. You can kind of see that. Cattle would stick their head through there. That's an old rain spouting, by the way, that's thrown in here. But cattle would stick their heads in through here. You'd pour feed down through here and get around behind them there and milk them. That's what that is. There's no stalls or dividers in here. You've probably watched videos of modern day milking barns, dairy farms. The cattle get trained. They come in here, or they would come in here and eat. And the way the modern barns are made now, the cows pretty much go to the same stall aisleway every time to get milked. And you know, once you do that 2 times a day, 365 days a year, they get used to that. So eventually I'll get all this hay out of here. This ground out here is really soft. I have been stuck out here in the past, so hasn't rained in a few days. I think it's going to rain Tuesday. This is Sunday. I needed to get the rest of this good hay together for a load that's going to Indiana tomorrow afternoon, by the way. And Guilford, Indiana. Kind of a new customer. I've talked to her earlier this summer. She wanted to get hay but didn't, and she's paying me to take it there. So apparently she can't find good hay over in that area. Okay, I'm fine with that. It's gonna be a nice road trip. 82 miles one way. Gonna take me about an hour and a half one way to get there. So like I said, we still got good hay in here, except the bottoms, the ones along the wall. I'm guessing there's probably 80 to 100 still down here, and up top here we still got hay. So I bet I got 400 to 500 left upstairs. But like I said, this is all grass. It comes up this hill, and it's got to be good when you get up here. So we're gonna get this back to the farm. It's about 20 after 10, and get the good hay loaded onto the gooseneck and get it ready to go for tomorrow. I got a load on the smaller trailer for tomorrow morning. So busy, and a little breezy out here. Wish the sun would come out a little bit better, but at least it's not cold. It's about 43, 44 degrees right now, so I'll take that. Okay, back at the farm. I'm going to go out here and get the Mahindra loader tractor started. You've probably seen me a couple, well, not a couple videos back, but I guess it might be in this same video, but how he's having trouble with the Mahindra. We ended up finding a bad wire. If I had the hood up and had this side shield off, I would, I'd show you that. But it went from a plug to a plug, had to do with the fuel system. Yeah, I've got mud all over the tires. I still don't like the way it's starting, the way it's running. I think it's still underpowered. I think it's still a fuel issue. That's a new fuel filter also. I'm going to try here right now to get air out of it, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I can do it and hold the camera. But it's either still got air in it or something. I don't like the throttle response. That's still not there. And I don't have full throttle, which I don't normally use around here. You're not going to use that unless you're bush hog mowing or something like that where you really need it. But we were thinking of why the battery may not be staying good or holding a good charge. Either the alternator is going bad, or I'm just not running it at high enough RPM, running around here moving hay, moving round bales, feeding the cattle, things like that, moving manure. So, and it idles a lot around here. So I'm thinking if I just run it at a higher RPM, alternator is going to put out more of a charge. At least that's, I think. I don't know. I'd like to, Dad has a way of checking that alternator. He just left for a doctor's appointment, but he has a way of checking out alternator. I wanted to check it the other day, and we never did do it. Of if at different RPMs, lower and higher, at higher RPMs, is it charging more than it would be at lower RPMs? Depends on what kind of alternator it is and how they're set up. So I don't know on this system, but I don't know. So right now I'm going to try and see before I try and get it started or anything like that. And it's starting hard too. My gosh, it shouldn't. I mean, it's 30-something degrees out here right now, 33, I think. I'll preheat it a little bit, but still, in my opinion, after about 30 seconds of preheat, with the new battery, the thing should fire right up. I do know we need a larger battery cable from the battery to the starter. I think that is a problem. I don't think that the cables are big enough to carry all the voltage it needs to start on cold mornings. So, and if it's going to be this way, even when it warms up, now, yesterday it was warmer, it started better, but if it's going to be that way, we are definitely going to change that cable. We need to find out. I just don't think it's big enough, or it's gotten hot and it's just not carrying the voltage. There's a way to check that also. We need to check those things out. But, I mean, the old girl here is getting some hours on her. I mean, she's pushing 3,800 hours, and if you talk to the guys I bought this also off of, they're at American Equipment. Boom. Right there. They are super impressed of the maintenance we've done on this and how many hours we've gotten on it. And that of the tractors that they have sold from that location there, I have the most hours on any Mahindra, so they say. I said, well, let me know when Mahindra Tractor Company is ready for me to be a spokesperson for them or do a commercial. He didn't exactly laugh. Maybe he took me serious. I don't know. I would do it. Hey. Squirrel. See how this thing's shining? I put some wax on it. I was bored one day. It's raining. It's sitting in here in the barn. It's faded. I put some wax on it. Not bad. Some of the old sheet metal really shined up. Looks like it's ready to sell. You ever notice how when people put equipment on Craigslist, they'll, you can tell it's wet because they will hose it off, take a picture real quick before it dries and it looks shiny? Yeah. I've seen that so many times. I got the grain drill in here also, backed up in there. That's only been in here about a month. It's set outside with a tarp. Then we had some 50, 60 mile per hour winds. The tarp took a crap, and it needs to stay inside and stay dry. I've got a lot of work for that coming up here next month. Snow blade is on. I had to dig it out here a while back. Had to use it. We had like a 6.5 inches one day. And I don't know what that booming noise is off in the distance. That's somebody's dragging something across the ground. Pallets stacked along the back. Probably remember one of my videos, we had hay stacked 3 rows out front here and tarped. The brand new big tarp that I bought at Harbor Freight, it had to have had some pinholes in it somewhere. I wanted to get one great big tarp because last year the tarp I had was several different tarps. Water ran down in between, lost several bales due to mold, all that. So this year I bought one big tarp and paid $170, $180 for that big tarp. I mean, my gosh, it was 90 by 30, something like that. Almost big as this. No, not as big as this barn. What am I thinking? But anyway, it covered all my hay, and it could have covered more out there. One big tarp. Water should run off of all of it, not out down in between the stacks. And it must have still had some pinholes in it because I still had some bad bales. So it makes no sense. I don't know. It is what it is. But that tarp is folded up. I'll use it again next year. We'll see. Either that or the hay under it couldn't breathe. But I'm actually thinking of some other ideas. That hay over there, by the way, is Chad's. That pole back there is the center of the barn. He rents that half of the barn. I'm thinking this next year, because you can buy tarps cheaper than you buy a barn. I'm thinking of if we do run into a situation where we're running out of room again, and if it's going to cost too much, well, put it this way. If I can save money by stacking hay in a field and tarping it, then I can paying boys to stack it up there in that barn. That might happen. So, and to get it out, you got to get it out of there by hand. If I stacked it in the field with the loader, tarped it, I can load it back up again with the loader, all that. A lot of saving labor, I think. Just some of the landowners, I would have to talk them into that. Still got several round bales out here. I think I'm going to run short because 6 of those has got to go to the neighbor down the road with the deal I've got with them. So I was looking online. There's round bales everywhere. It's good grass hay square bales that are coming up short on, well, especially anything alfalfa mix. The guy I just bought some off of over near Wilberforce, he's got about 100 left for me, 120 maybe. So we still may run short on those. All right. Let's see. So there is a nut. Get my wrench going the right way here. Loosen that nut. Nothing's coming out yet, but I'm going to pump this up. My Duramax had kind of the same thing. You pump on top of the filter housing. I think I see bubbles coming out of there, which means we still have air. See all that air coming out? You see that? That's why she's not running good. And I don't know where she's sucking air at. So you pump this up. I don't know if you ever bled brakes on a car. So see, now this is getting hard to pump up. I'm getting some pressure, but man, all that air that's coming out. I hope you can see that. It's bubbling. It is bubbling. Once I see fuel coming out, I will stop. But I'm seeing air bubbles. See, I put a system on my Duramax when I had it to take the air out of the system, because that air is not good for your injectors. Now I'm not seeing anything because I've got full pressure on it. Maybe we need to loosen it just a hair more. Okay. Get my wrench going the right direction here. Still loose. Sorry, armor's in the way. Okay, well, she's built up pressure. We're going to tighten her back. Camera's going to smell like diesel fuel now. We're going to tighten her back up. I never did really see fuel come out. Still got pressure. I can't push down on that anymore. hopefully I got some air out of it. So I know this cap is getting bad, or it is bad. It's in like 3 different pieces. Once you take that cap off, I don't know, but I believe we're sucking air somewhere, and that we got to find. Also, my opinion, well, so that is the cable that comes from the throttle. That is your fuel pump and stuff in there. Starters down here, but just something in there is not quite working right. All right, let's preheat it. That little symbol that comes on in the dash here, it means it's preheating. I'll hold it for a good while here. Yeah, boring, huh? Turned out to be a decent day. All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump up on here because you have to have your foot on the brake. Cat's been on my seat. See if she wants to start. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it. And check engine light has been flashing too, as you see. Now, symbol will stay on in the dash till she warms up, and also we have found that the battery will not charge until that symbol goes out, which is about right. I guess it just lets the engine warm up, but the alternator will not start charging the battery until that symbol right in there goes out. The check engine flashing, I don't know what that is. It's been doing that ever since we fixed that wire. I know the engine is cold right now, but it sounds like a V8 cat diesel. It warms up, that knocking goes away a little bit, but you've seen all the white smoke, and then when it did finally start the black smoke, it's never started that hard before. And dang it, we just got a lot of air out of this system, so I just wonder if it's sucking air somewhere. The little light has went out, battery should be charging. Yesterday I did that and it would blow out black smoke. Maybe it's getting better. I'm gonna let Dad know about that, but I think we're sucking air somewhere. So when I park it here after a while, if I get air out of it again like that, then it just means we're sucking air. There's a way to tell that, find out, and if you take starting fluid, spray around a general area around fuel lines and things like that, and if the engine picks up speed once it breathes that starting fluid, whatever general area you're spraying in, that's where your hole's going to be, where it's sucking air. Because these engines, just like a car, it will bring in the right amount of air and the right amount of fuel, but if it's bringing in air into the fuel system, that's too much air, your mixture isn't right, and you're gonna run, I guess it'd be lean, or your engine's not gonna run right. So we'll let this warm up just a little bit.
what you've seen there in the last video was yesterday. We loaded a semi truck, a 53-foot van trailer that made it to its destination this morning, Furlong, Pennsylvania. And that all worked out great. 559 bales in there altogether. I charged her for 550. And she messaged me this morning and said that it got there, it was supposed to be afternoon. Instead, it made it there at 10:30. That driver didn't listen too well. Black cat just about crossed in front of me there. Okay, that's nice. Didn't need that. Anyway, so got to give credit to my neighbor Carter. I think he's 16, maybe 17. I think 16. Anyway, he came down and helped me. We were in the trailer. My cousin Chad, he was loading them in the back of the trailer with his grapples on his loader. That's what the little bit of the video was. I actually set it up to do a time lapse of the whole thing. And because we were rushing around, you only get 2 hours to load that truck. And I think we did okay doing it in 90 minutes. The last little bit took a little while because Chad had to get it from upstairs in the barn. But I had 506 on wagons sitting around to where Chad could grab them real easy. And so it all went good until the last little bit where it just took a little bit longer. But we still had time. And stacking at the end of the trailer like that gets a little tricky anyway. But we got it done. And so that was what you seen on the video when we was at the back of the trailer. But Carter and I, we kicked butt in there. Our shirts were soaking wet. I think it was like 71, 72 degrees yesterday. So I'm working my way back to the farm here. I've got wood chips to move. I've got that manure wagon to dump. I don't know if there's enough daylight to get it back to her and them to get it loaded and back to our farm before it gets dark. We got heavy rain coming tomorrow. Not really liking that, but maybe to give my body a break. But I've got some things set up to where I can do under the barn roof anyway. So it's not like I'm going to be taking a huge break, but maybe just not as stressful. Today's been busy, stressful ever since the day started. Also took a round bale over to Willie's on Carpenter Road over near Bowersville, so that got done. And even made it to Real King after I dropped the first, or after I dropped the wagon off the first time over Kelly Nance's at Saddle Up. So yeah, I've been busy. And just talked to Larry there. He's wanting to, they're on Cornstalk, he's wanting to get some reseeding done in his field, which is fine because we're gonna have the drill over there and do the neighbors. So yeah, he's wanting orchard grass seed put in his. Might sneak in a little bit of alfalfa seed in there with it because I think it needs it, and that's what we need. That's been our biggest seller, and that's what we're pretty much out of. But I've got loads of hay going. Supposed to go this weekend. Like I said, I don't think anything's going to be happening tomorrow. Saturday, I'd like to go to some soccer games of my daughters, and looks like we'll be back at it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, whatever. That's 6 days out, but I've got it all marked on the calendar, and we're going to be buying hay to resell it. So that's just where we're at right now. And so I hope you're enjoying the videos. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we're going to get going soon. We're going to get going. So I'm just going to try and keep it exciting. And, you know, we always start making hay about the 1st of May. I don't know, this year it may be a little sooner just because the way things are greening up already. So, I don't know. We'll see. Catch you later.